Okay, so now we'll talk about consumer offset reset behavior. And so basically, a consumer is expected to read from a log continuously. And so this is what happens. A consumer reads from the logs and keeps on reading forward. But if your application has a bug, the consumer can be down, and that happens. And if Kafka has a retention of 7 days, so if your data is in Kafka for 7 days, but your consumer is down for more than 7 days, then the offsets are invalid and you've actually missed data. So overall, how do we deal with this? Well, the behavior for the consumer is to then use the auto offset reset setting, which is latest or earliest or none. So when it's latest, it will read from the end of the log. When it's earliest, it will read from the start of the log. And when it's none, it will throw an exception because no offset is found, and that will prompt you for manual intervention. Additionally, sometimes consumer offsets can be lost, and these happen if a consumer hasn't read any new data in 1 day or hasn't committed the offsets in 1 day. That's for Kafka less than 2.0. This was quite bad behavior, so in Kafka 2.0 and over, if a consumer hasn't read new data in 7 days or committed offset in 7 days, then it will lose its offsets, otherwise it will keep them. This behavior can overall be controlled by the broker setting named offset retention minutes. So definitely have a look at your cluster and make sure you have this offset retention minutes to set up to something high enough. Now, if you want to replay data for consumers, you can definitely use this using a consumer group. So you take all the consumers down, then you use the Kafka consumer groups command to set the offset to whatever you want. Then you restart your consumer. So we'll do this in the next lecture. But bottom line, what do we learn? Well, I want you to set a proper data retention period. 7 days is a default, but maybe you can set it to a month if you want to be super safe. And also set the offset retention period to the exact same value. You'll also need to ensure that the auto offset reset behavior is the one you expect or want. For our code, it's set to earliest, but maybe you don't want that. And finally, you should use the replay capability in case of unexpected behavior. So let's go ahead and use the replay capability in the next lecture.